That should be it. According to my map, it's a man-made tunnel that grants easy access to the way station.
Bryn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the loom gate in our camp.
Skies, what are we waiting for? I want to be the first one to travel through a gate.
It will be a defining moment of your career.
So, how do we repair a loom gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. The pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the loom gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about Arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the Surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the Arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arcs have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the Arc? There's no way my sword is strong enough.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which, in turn, means...
I could hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace, no problem.
We'll talk.
Great foresight in removing the debris from the loom gate's platform. We've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Happy to be one step ahead.
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Loom gates must...
Don't...
sorry.
Not...
Promise you'll keep an...
Any thoughts on what...
No? So, our acting point. Is your heart racing at the prop...
I just...
Would you mind?
For you?
No thought.
Thanks.
Of course.
Loom...
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived, and I should have been more welcoming. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supplies, and Aurea getting injured, and then having a point takeover who...
Lacks experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself. You made finding food and water a top priority. That's when I realized...
Means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
The role of point seemed really serious to you. Can I ask why that is?
Because it is serious. If you screw up, we all die.
That seems... extreme.
Think of it this way. Let's say we're low on food in the desert. If you scout 3 leagues in the wrong direction, we're all 3 leagues further away from food we need to survive.
Right. I guess I see what you mean. Still sounds like an extenuating circumstance, though.
And being the first to enter the Enclave in almost half a century isn't an extenuating circumstance.
Point taken, I suppose. How are you feeling now that we're starting to get settled?
If this is settled, I'd hate to see us scrambling. I have a hard time letting my guard down when there are so many unknowns. We're still missing supplies, and our campsite isn't half what it should be. Can't see myself relaxing and smelling the roses anytime soon.
So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it. These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have in mind?
Like we discussed, Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Like honing your sword so it can cut through arc armor. Alternatively, Dom could certainly care better for our mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here. And everyone's lives would be safer for it.
What about you?
Me? Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, would new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me. I'm fine. Right now, improving Sola's forge is more important.
You're always thinking 10 steps ahead.
You have no idea.
I love it. The better prepared our Weaver Band is, the sooner we can get out of survival mode.
Oh, I'm glad you agree.
Totally. You can count on me.
Thanks, Bren. Sola is delighted with the improvements to her forge. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bryn.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. Would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, that reminds me, we'll need the... What?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done?
Sure. Sometimes. Once there are fewer fires to put out, I'll relax. I swear.
You know, I've had a lot rattling around in my head since we got here too. Sure, there are so many new discoveries, that's exciting. But we're also trapped inside a hostile environment. Balancing the discoveries with survival is hard. Sometimes it just gets so loud in my head, you know?
Yeah, I do. It's like waves crashing down on me from all sides. All these awful thoughts of what could happen keep dragging me under until... Never mind.
You can tell me.
Until... I can't breathe. Or it feels that way.
I get it.
You do?
Completely. Maybe we could slow down and catch our breath together sometime. It would definitely help me.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but... this was nice. Aurea. It's Lane, by the way.
What's that?
They don't like to be called Lane Free. I heard you saying it to Bryn earlier. That's the name their parents chose.
I knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit.
Pace free. What's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible to work with whatever we've got in the caravan. Once you have everything we need, We'll forge the patch here.
Your tent. Might not be glamorous, but you can rest here when you're not gallivanting on expeditions.
It's perfect.
Don't know about perfect. I could have done a better job if we didn't lose half our supplies when we passed through the Veil.
Seriously, I didn't have anything close to this in Aaron's band. Half the time I was lucky if I didn't sleep on dirt.
Ira's breath. Was Aaron running from Maid of Turdville? He sounds like the worst.
Yeah. I always knew he wasn't a great point. But traveling with you guys is making me realize how bad he actually was.
Yeah, you deserve a break. Ideally, one that involves a nap on blankets instead of dirt. I'll leave you to get settled.
you're coming up on the Ark of the Stricken Earth. With a stronger sword, hopefully the carapace will come off easy.
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the Ark to attack it from different angles. Those are holding the armor in place. Skin with everything you've got. Through that patch of skin anymore. Move on.
That's done. You are unstoppable, Bryn.
I was worried we might lose our chance to get the carapace, but you secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Bryn.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. And with the debris cleared, why don't you tell Arya we've got everything we need to fix the loom gate?
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind.
two wonders of enchanting, an arc and loom gates. We can touch them, smell them if we want. And they don't work. Maddening.
Did you?
Did I what?
Smell the loom gate.
A little, but that's beside the point. But mossy, hints of sage, a subtle yet full-bodied undertone of dirt.
Amazing. Well, now we just need to get it working.
Oh yes, should our plan succeed.
And if not?
Then it is time for Plan B, which I have not yet thought up, but I'm sure we won't need.
The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Bryn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the Hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this, and you need the break.
All right, if you say so.
What a beautiful view.
Not as protective, but great against the elements. Always refreshing to work with carved materials. This one strikes a... Take them out from a distance, and they'll never know you were there.
Zola, this plan to repurpose Carapace to fix the Loongate's conduit? Pure elegance.
Sarah's idea. I only helped him with the design.
You did more than that. But I finished it.
Aurea, how's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here. And the leak is just about... fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Sev has a point. We need to set up a watch for camp. No one has made contact with us, but clearly they're watching. Any expectation of a warm welcome is off the table.
They've been living under the Veil for almost 50 years. Who knows how their version of Weaver culture has diverged from ours.
All the same, we can't just sit here. We don't know who they are or what they can do. If they do mean us harm, I need to investigate what we're dealing with.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the Loom Gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood, it expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the Loom Gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the Loom Gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on.
Here to brief?
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as Dredger's Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Likely, it was used for the excavation of minerals and metals before the surge. I believe the natural surroundings of the mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
Some of the others didn't seem so sure we should be trying to track down the masked figure. What do you think?
History demands we find them. If the masked figure truly is a Hearthsider, their stories and what they've lived through in here would be invaluable to our understanding of the Enclave and of the Surge.
Sounds like I'd better find them then. Apart from the village, it sounds like this is mostly untamed lands. In the expectation that it will be more dangerous than the Hollow.
I would expect so, yes. We've made camp in a way station that's pretty far from Denevron, and the mire yet even more remote. Everything I've read says the deeper into the outskirts of the Enclave one ventures, the more wild and untamed the lands become.
You're saying my battle with the Great Ark might be looking like child's play soon?
Possibly?
What can you tell me about Poldervale? It seems like it was settled pretty far from their capital.
Indeed. Though, when you take instantaneous travel through loom gates into account, what constitutes a remote village changes. The village was likely settled to facilitate the prospecting of raw materials in the outskirts. Resources farmed here could easily be transported across the Enclave through the use of loom gates.
Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the Loom Gate's repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a Loom Shard.
A loom shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a Loom Gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea pulling me back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely,